Broadcasting from the Merritt Hall Studios out of Carson City, Nevada. You're listening to Covering the Field.
Welcome to the Covering the Field World Cup Soccer Preview. And I have here Gator Gates, who's a huge soccer fan. And appreciate you being here.
Oh, I appreciate you inviting me, Joe. Really.
Once every 4 years, we have this World Cup. It's huge. It's massive throughout the world. More countries play soccer than any other sport.
Yeah, that's correct.
So this is a super big deal. And I'm sorry that in America it's not as popular as it should be, but we will be hosting a World Cup very soon, right?
I think it's the next one.
It is the next one. United States, Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah, we're going to be,
Yes.
North America.
Yes. Yeah. You could call them the all three will obviously make it into the tournament because you're automatically.
But I think there's going to be more teams there in that one as well.
Yes. We have 32 in this one. There's going to be 48 in the next one. So of these 32 teams, we need to analyze and make some predictions. We're in the wonderful country of Qatar, which looks more like Qatar to me. But we'll call it Qatar. But anyway.
Well, I call it guitar.
Okay.
We'll
call it Qatar.
Okay. That sounds good.
We'll mispronounce
either
for
way.
purposes of this show. Nobody knows where it is and nobody knows what they do over there. It's a very small country. And but they do have a lot of money there and enough money to get the World Cup to be played there.
Yeah, exactly.
And they built a bunch of stadiums. And the reason we're having it so late in the year, it's usually in the summer, is because of the heat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as hot this time of year, but still, I think every stadium is a dome, right?
I believe so. I'm not sure about that, but yes, it doesn't look like it.
We're gonna check that out. We're gonna learn a lot.
That's exactly right.
But what we do know is who's playing, and we do know some of the odds in the groups. So we might as well just go in order. And in Group A. We have the Netherlands, Senegal, Ecuador, and Qatar. And who do you like here? And it looks kind of obvious to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, Joe, it's hard to go against the Netherlands. Joe, they do take two teams out of each group. And if you're looking at odds to win, we got the books have World Cup odds. Whoever wins the group odds and getting into the round of 16.
Yes. Will a team advance?
Right. So Netherlands, in my eyes, is going to win the group. And right now they're at a minus 195. They're the favorite. But then you're going to try to get the next team that's going to come out of this group. I think it's going to come down to either Senegal or Ecuador.
Yeah, I would say so.
Now, I do have Ecuador. Qatar plays Ecuador for the first game, and that's going to be Sunday. And I do have Ecuador winning that game. I was debating between the draw and the win. Now, I guess I should explain this. When you're betting soccer just on the games, you have a two-way and a three-way. Two-way is what most of us know for the NFL. You have a point, you have to win by a goal, you can lose by a goal. The three-way is different. The three-way, you pick a side or you can pick the draw. And so when I start talking about draws, that would be on three-way. But I think Ecuador is going to beat Qatar, and they're at a plus 120, Joe.
Yeah, I prefer the South American team over the African team for sure.
Mm-hmm. And that's Sunday. Now Monday, there's going to be three games on Monday. Now at the beginning, Joe, they had all four games on Monday. There's 4 games on Tuesday, 4 games on Wednesday, but Qatar wanted to have their own special day, of course. So they moved that one back to Sunday.
Yes. The host country always plays the first game.
Right. Correct. So now that leaves us 3 other games left in this group. Are in the first day because you have Group A and Group B playing on Monday.
Okay.
So the other game in Group A would be Senegal and the Netherlands. I like the Netherlands. It's on the two-way -1 at plus 105. I like that you get a plus 105 with that.
All right. And who will you have advancing from Group A? Pretty obvious.
Yeah, exactly. The Netherlands, and I'm going to take Ecuador.
Ecuador to advance. And the odds are actually better for them.
Better on Senegal to go.
Yeah. So
exactly.
You can make a little more money on Ecuador.
Right. And it's at again, they're at a plus 105 to get to the round of 16, where Senegal's at a minus 130.
So in Group B, we had England, or we have England, our wonderful United States, Iran, and Scotland, I believe, right?
Wales.
Oh,
and US does play Wales on Monday.
That's interesting. I have a very old sheet. Crazy, huh?
That is crazy.
So it's Wales, Iran, United States, and England. Okay. And this sheet is back in April, actually. So
I see that.
when they first came out.
Sure. Okay. So England has to be the favorite.
Yeah.
They're just going to win here. So now we got to look at Iran, USA, and Wales. And I know everybody's wishing for the USA to win, but you guys, I don't even know if they're going to get 1 point more or less, a point more or less 2 points.
We've got to beat Iran. Come on. You're not sure.
I think the best bet that we have is USA tying Wales and USA tying Iran, and that'll give us 2 points. And that's not going to be enough to get us out of their group.
Oh, no, that's not good.
That's what I see. But England's going to come out of there. And I also think Wales is going to beat Iran to get out of there as well.
We have a very young team from what I noticed. So,
and if you guys go back over these last ones, USA 0-0 over Saudi Arabia, 0-2 over
the friendlies.
Japan. Yeah. So it's really hard for me to see them doing anything like that.
Right.
I'm sorry to say, but if we're going to go for the first games again, this is on Monday. I would take England at a minus 1.5 even money, and I would take USA draw at plus 205.
Wow. Okay, and we play Wales, so that could be a good game.
Yes, we did get a good draw. USA did get a good draw,
without a doubt.
Without a doubt. So that was the best I think that we could.
We should get in.
I know.
We should get there. And Wales has one really good player, Bale, right?
No,
Gareth Bale. And other than that,
they don't have but
don't have a whole lot.
But the Wales do play, Germany and France and Italy, and they play some teams where if you look at USA, who are they playing? Canada, which did win.
Canada looks good.
And Mexico. And then you can
They're
start
usually
good. Yeah, so that's where I'm coming with all that.
Okay.
So Group C.
Yeah. So you had England getting in, and you're leaning.
Oh, and I'm leaning towards Wales.
Wales. Okay.
And again, the books have Wales going. It have them favored over Iran. But the books does have the U.S. as
the second one. Okay, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
You're skeptical.
Yes.
All right. Okay, we go to Group C. Well, this is a little more formidable here. Argentina, Mexico, Poland, and then Saudi Arabia. But those top three teams supposed to be pretty decent teams.
Well, Argentina, in my mind, is the team that's going to win the whole thing, Joe. Oh. They're at 5-1. If we're looking at top teams, it'd be like France, Germany, Argentina, Brazil. Those are your top teams, and I like Argentina with Messi,
Lionel Messi.
Yeah, so at 5-1, that's not a bad price.
Okay.
So then we got who's the second team to come out of there? Mexico does have a shot. Yeah, they should beat Saudi Arabia. They'll probably lose to Argentina, but I think the big game is going to be Mexico and Poland. Whoever wins that is probably going to be the one that gets out of that group. And I think Mexico can do it, and I think they will do it. So when I'm looking at these games now, they play on Tuesday. Argentina, I got -2, -105. And I got Mexico at a draw plus 215.
Argentina's got to win by 3 in order to win.
Right. Ouch. And if they win by 2, you get your money back.
You get your money back at 2. That's right. Well, that's good. Yeah, Argentina definitely the strength of this group.
Yes, big time.
It's basically between Mexico and Poland.
I'm going to go with Mexico. I do think they can do it, and they're at a -110 to get out of the group.
All right.
Not a bad price.
Okay. Moving on to Group D.
Okay.
All right. Defending champion France, Denmark, Tunisia, and Australia. And I'd see
this is probably the easiest to pick the two.
Doesn't it look like France and Denmark?
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue that.
Yeah. And France is a pretty heavy favorite to win the group. Now, there is a history of teams who win the cup, the very next cup, they don't play nearly as well. It's super hard to repeat.
It is.
And some of them don't even get out of the group.
Well, let's see. When was the last time we had a repeat here? Brazil, 58 and 62, 1958 and 1962.
That's a long time ago, 60 years ago. So the odds are certainly against France of repeating. Denmark, obviously, we're leaning towards the European teams and the South American teams.
Correct.
When they're playing the African teams and these North American and these fringe teams that usually.
Right. And that's why I think the group stage is your best chance to play at the books.
Right. So France is a pretty heavy favorite.
Now they play on Tuesday. France is playing Australia, and I have France at a -1.5, -125. And Denmark is going to be playing Tunisia, and I'm going to take Denmark at a -245 just to win. I know that's kind of high, but I'm not exactly sure about Tunisia.
Yeah, that's North Africa. I'm not sure exactly either, but I noticed Tunisia and Morocco both got in.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's pretty solid up there in North Africa. But yeah, I mean, they don't have much of a shot of advancing.
I don't think so either. Yeah, and I guess that's why it's at a -245 too in that game.
Then you can parlay, some -245s, maybe put 4 or 5 of what seem to be sure things together and maybe make a decent little parlay out of that. So shall we just move on to Group E?
Sure,
All
we
right.
keep going.
Well, this one looks pretty difficult right off the top. I'm seeing Spain and Germany in the same group, and Japan, who has a history of being a little pesky, winning games here and there. They should win. And who's left? Costa Rica, I believe. Yes.
Okay, the books have Spain at 8 to win the World Cup, and they have Germany at 9 to win the World Cup. I would think Spain and Germany again are going to come out of that group. I don't see Costa Rica beating Spain. I don't see Costa Rica beating Germany. Japan was pretty fun last time, right?
Yeah.
That was last time.
Yeah. They had a probably easier group last time than they did this time.
Oh, they sure do. Big time. And they even have Costa Rica. They have Japan over Costa Rica to get out of the group, which is amazing to me. Costa Rica is always playing those Spains and Germanys. They know them better than Japan. So I don't know. I'm not understanding that one exactly.
Costa Rica coming from the same area as the United States and Mexico.
I like Germany.
Canada.
I like Germany to win the group. Joe, do you like Germany or Spain?
I would take Germany for sure.
To win the group, huh?
Yeah, and that would be an upset according to these odds right here.
Yeah.
But, that's surprising.
So I disagree with them.
Yeah, so we have a little bit of an upset for once.
Okay, so Germany, this game is going to be played on Wednesday, and Germany is playing Japan. Germany is at a -1.5 plus 125.
Okay, so they got to win by 2.
And then we have Spain playing Croatia. It's probably going to be a better game, but I am going to take Croatia at a -115.
Spain and Costa Rica.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. You're Costa Rica. I'm going to take Costa Rica
to beat Spain.
And the reason I say that is because Spain plays that defensive game. They get up 2 goals. They play that defensive game. And yeah.
So you would take like +1.5. Is that what it is? Or +2 with Costa Rica?
I sure would. I would take it that way too. But I think Costa Rica can actually get the upset. There's going to be some upsets. And this is one I think they can.
Maybe a draw in that one.
That's a very good pick too, Joe.
Okay.
But I'm going to go for it all. I'm going to go Costa Rica -115. They are.
Do you have anybody eliminating Spain or Germany from this group?
No.
Spain and Germany will advance.
Just who's gonna win the group? I say Germany.
Germany wins and Spain second.
Yes.
Okay. We move on.
Because even if they do lose that one game, they're not going to lose against Japan, and you could get a draw out of Germany. You get 3 points for a win. You get 1 point for a draw.
Right. And when they get into ties, and that's goal differential and all that sort of stuff, that can get complicated, and that can make a big difference in who advances and who doesn't. And now we move on to Group F. Okay. This one also looks kind of difficult to me because I see 2 European teams in here. Always worries me a little bit. Belgium and Croatia, Morocco and Canada. You don't expect a whole lot from Canada, but Canada won the United States CONCACAF. Yeah,
correct.
Surprisingly, they were the best. Now, over Mexico and the United States.
Joe, in all these tournaments, not just the World Cup, but every time when they come out with these draws, we always have this thing called the group of death.
Yeah.
This one was really hard. This was probably the hardest one. I tried to figure out who the group of death is. This is my choice right here, Group F. Reason is because Belgium should win the group, no, hands down. Who's going to be second?
Well, it appears Croatia, because Morocco and Canada are like 12-1 to win the group.
That's their opinion.
Right.
What's really going to happen? What's really going to happen is we're going to get a lot of draws. That's what I see between those 3 teams. Okay. Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Now, so let's look at they're playing Wednesday as well. Morocco's playing Croatia. Right? I'm getting mixed up here. Wait,
well, they're all going to play each other eventually.
Okay, well, let's see.
I don't actually have a sheet with this week's games on it. So
no, I'm going to figure it out here myself here. Belgium. Okay, so Croatia minus 115. I think I had France. Okay, anyways, and then we got Belgium. Belgium's at a minus 1.5 plus 110. And like I said, Belgium's going to win that group. They got to play Canada. Joe, you could try for the draw. Yeah. I just think Belgium's way too good.
Yeah, I would probably take the 1.5. I wouldn't try for the draw. And they might be happy with a 1-goal victory. Belgium is a possibility. Just to be it'd be an upset, and who knows? Who knows? I mean, if Canada is good enough to beat United States and Mexico, they're good enough to lose by 1 to Belgium.
Yeah, well, that Canada winning that group was just a shock. Everybody always assumes it's going to be USA and Mexico, always every year, and so that is a shock. So I'm not sure if Canada's for real or not, Joe. When we start playing these teams.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. Exactly right. That's why it's kind of hard to figure out. So that's my group of death, Joe.
But I'm going to assume you're going to go with the status quo and go Belgium and Croatia to
get out of that.
Eventually, Croatia gets out of that group of 3 of Morocco, Canada, and Croatia. I'm just assuming. I don't know. You're stumped. You're not sure.
Yeah, because.
So you don't feel like making a prediction on that one then. That's fine.
I don't think Croatia's all that.
Okay.
They just got done playing the UEFA Nations. And they did all right there, and they always do. They're not a team that you can overlook, because I'm not saying that, but Morocco and Canada, I don't know those guys. I mean, we see Canada all the time, but we don't see Morocco. I don't know. I don't have a feeling on it.
Croatia's got the great uniforms, though. So
yeah, the checkerboard
uniforms. So I do like that, and
their fans are crazy.
I'll be rooting for Canada, but I'm going to pick Croatia to advance. Because they're the European team.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to get better.
When in doubt, go
they,
Europe or South America,
because they have to play those guys all the time. So they better competition.
Okay. Well, let's see. Group G. Well, I noticed that Brazil was favored to win the whole thing. They're in Group G. I don't know if they still are, but they were certainly for the last couple of months. Also in that group, 2 European teams, Switzerland and Serbia. And Cameroon, this could also maybe be considered partially a group of death also.
Correct. Exactly, Joe. The reason why I don't like this being considered the group of death is because I think Switzerland's going to come out of this group.
So Serbia, you're not giving a whole lot of shot of advancing.
Not at all, really.
Okay.
I do like to know it's at a minus 140 for them not to make the round of 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So Switzerland is going to have a lot better chance at it here. They're a plus 110 to make it. And from what I saw here, and Serbia was a plus 120.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have Switzerland a slight favorite.
Mm-hmm. And I think so too. That's why I didn't consider that the group of death. That's why I consider
you're pretty confident in Switzerland getting there.
Exactly. I also Switzerland has to play Cameroon the first game. This is Thursday, guys, and I'm taking the draw on that. Again, talking about Cameroon, they're always in there, aren't they, Joe?
It seems like every 4 years Cameroon's in there. Yeah.
So that's why I like to draw on that. Brazil is playing Serbia, and wow, I think you're getting a deal on this one, Joe. -1, -135 on Brazil.
Well, they could win by 2. If you win by 1, you get your money back.
So I think that's a good deal.
That is a good deal.
I mean, that's about as close to safe as you're going to get, Joe.
No, that's what the other team's getting some respect in that.
Exactly.
There you go. And now, finally, Group H, final group, Portugal, Uruguay, Ghana, and South Korea. This one doesn't seem very strong at all to me.
No, and a lot of people are on Portugal to go far, not to win the whole thing, but to go far.
Just because of their group here.
Just because of their group here, exactly.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Exactly. And
everybody knows him, right? So it's like that, of course they're going to win the group.
Yeah, exactly. Uruguay, they're going to come out of that. I mean, come on, they're always playing Brazil, Argentina.
Colombia, and Colombia didn't even make it.
Yeah, and there's
good some good teams down there in South America who didn't make it. Some darn good teams in Europe that didn't make it either.
So I would have to go Portugal to win. Uruguay's going to get out, go to the round of 16. They're at a -185. So I like that. This rounds out Thursday's action. Portugal is going to be playing Ghana. I got Portugal -1, -135, just like Brazil. And Uruguay's on a -140 to win straight up. Now, South Korea is a little sneaky team to me, Joe. It's one of those teams that you think there's no way they're going to win. And for some reason, you're in overtime and penalty kicks. And
yeah, those little fellers, they can play a little soccer.
Yeah, so be careful.
They will have problems against taller teams, of course, because you boot it up high and into the box, and who's going to get the header on the ball? It's going to be the other team, not South Korea.
But they're sneaky.
They are. Those Koreans are sneaky. I agree, and they do play surprisingly good.
Yeah, it's fun to watch them. Yes, it's very fun to watch. I know I'm teasing them a little bit, but they're great. They're not bad.
No, they are a good team.
Yeah, I'm actually giving credit.
So those are everybody we have advancing. Now, I guess I might as well get into who you think is going to be like in the Final Four, maybe the championship game, or maybe who's going to win it all.
Well, I think Argentina is going to win it all with Messi, and I think that it's going to come down to Germany and Argentina, if it's possible. It's weird how they get the next round. They give you an example, the winner of Group A will play the second place team in Group B, and the winner of Group B will play the second place team in Group A, and so on and so forth. I think Germany and Argentina are the two strongest. I know there's arguments for Brazil and France, but France did lose their best player, and I know that's only one player, so I'm not exactly sure if they can go all the way.
Right, and they would be repeating.
Super
difficult.
Yes. So that's what I got, Joe. I like Germany and I like Argentina, and I'm going to take Argentina because in my heart, I would really love to see Messi get one.
There's some potentially amazing games that are going to be in that round of 16 and or round of 8. You know, the Netherlands and England or Group A and B.
Then it's going to be harder to bet them.
C and D, you got Argentina and France. In E, you're going to potentially Germany or Spain against Belgium. And then in G and H, you got Brazil. Probably, maybe that's why Brazil appears like they're going to be a big favorite, because
they'll be playing probably
Portugal or Uruguay.
Yeah, probably be Uruguay.
So it seems they would be getting to at least the final eight, for sure.
For sure. I would think so.
Mm-hmm. Well, my family lives in France. I would love to see a repeat. Sorry to hear their best player is out. That's very sad, but they have other really good players. Obviously, you don't win the World Cup.
You have
4 years later, suddenly you're not any good. So I'll be rooting for them. Predicting them, I guess. We'll see how that goes. And so there are also, tons of propositions to wager on. Like we touched on some of that. Like, will certain teams advance? Yes or no? You got the actual title itself. The Golden Boot winner. Who's going to score the most goals? I mean, we could go on and on with some of these propositions, but
Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, those are the two favorites. But who knows?
Who knows?
Somebody going to come up that. Well, Neymar too.
Neymar, okay, and you got a couple of French guys,
but I don't think
and Benzema.
I think it's going to be somebody else.
How about Harry Kane, the favorite?
Oh, Harry Kane.
8-1.
Well, that depends on how far England goes, huh?
Well, that's another thing. Yeah, you have to score the most goals, but if you play less games, it's going to make it much more difficult.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
because England will get out of the group, but will they get to the next one after that?
Right, because they would have, was it Belgium? No, the Netherlands. Very possibly, maybe
that could be
a final 8 game. So that could be a heck of a battle there.
Yeah.
So, gosh, a lot to look forward to.
A lot, yes.
I don't watch a whole lot of soccer, but I do make it a point to watch the World Cup and the Olympics. Of course, the Olympics, it's kind of watered down versions of
the World Cup. Yeah. Well, yeah, even the nations ones too. Even the nation.
So it's going to be awesome to watch. I'm looking forward to it. And I thank you, Gator.
And thank you, Joe. Thank you so much.
And we thank everyone for listening to the Covering the Field World Cup special.
You've been listening to Covering the Field. Email us at coveringthefield@gmail.com for all your comments or questions. Find us on Twitter @CoveringField. And of course, always check out the website for our picks of the week and updated articles. coveringthefield.com.